Good evening, traders. This video is about DAX for November the 1st, recap of the possibilities that we have today and look ahead for the next period. In front of us is the updated chart with zones that I have posted before the open, and then I said that due to the price action that was in previous day, that now we have this large resistance zone from 430 to 500, and that bears have the upper hand if they can manage to if they can manage to keep the price below, and that the bulls needs a breakout above 500. Let's go to the charts. The context was also that this area here was under the attack for a fourth consecutive day. Now today is the fourth consecutive day. This was one attempt that failed, second attempt that failed, third attempt that they were holding here, but they were making the higher lows all the time. So that means building pressure, knocking on that resistance, and each time that you try to make a break of some zones, that zone is getting weaker and weaker. And today we got some kind of breakout, but then the price reversed. So where was the opportunities for today? Let's go to the 1 minute chart to see better what was happening today. In pre-market, price was below this resistance. They have tested this resistance, pulled back a little. As you can see, this is the pre-market low that was made right after the pre-market started at 805, and the price is now is past 7 p.m. and the price whole day is above the pre-market lows. So if you take the context, which is the fourth consecutive day of the bulls attacking this resistance, you could make a decision to now go with it and to try to catch that breakout. Usually if you attempt to buy a breakout in advance thinking that it will going to happen, that is a bad idea, no matter if this is the breakout or breakdown, because usually it doesn't happen. But the context now is different. Fourth consecutive days, price making higher lows, building pressure. So it really wouldn't be any mistake if you were got here in pre-market, anywhere here in pre-market, with your long order and stop behind the pre-market low. So that was one idea, to buy that in advance. But later, if you want to wait and see what will happen, later it is very visible on 5 minute chart what happened. I said that bulls need a breakout, but in order to see that, we need to see a lot of strength and momentum coming into the market, and this is it. You have one big fat green handle that represents that conviction with buyers. They were pushing the market higher, so in order to catch that, you really need to buy these pullbacks. And when the market is going hard in one direction, there isn't going to be school book pullback like Fibonacci 38.2 retracement or a pullback to some level or so on. When the move is young, in this first phase of the move, pullbacks are going to be shallow. So you can wait for a pullback, and then when you see this a few red candles, immediately go long here with the stop behind this breakout bar. It's enough to be here, because if the breakout is on, price should not come all the way here. Or if you are conservative for the stop placement, you can go long here with your stop all the way down there. Second opportunity, and the other opportunity, is the more school book opportunity. Price went up, filled that gap that was here on 524. There was a gap from October 22nd. Price filled that, made a small pullback again to the 500 level, and that was your another chance to go long here. And then these minor zones usually are here for targets, so it's going to be, you know, a good idea to exit here. So if you are long here on a 500 with your, let's say, 25 point stop, you can get a 2-hour trade from 500 to 550, and that would be a 2-hour trade, because by this price, by here, price already made a 150 point move, so you could expect a bit of a pullback, maybe retesting this level again, and you know, it's a good idea just to lock on the profit and, you know, move on to the next trade. As far as this zone is concerned, whenever are you facing the strong momentum and you want to go counter that, it is a good idea to, you know, be involved at the back of the zone. So here would be a place for you to short. If you're skipping this short, no big deal, because it's really you know, not an easy trade to oppose this move, which is the break from the main resistance area, and you could expect price to go even higher, but they didn't do that. So let's go back to the slightly higher time frames and observe that the price is still inside these lines representing some kind of wedge, and the price really didn't touch the wedge. It didn't go to the other zone, especially didn't go to this major zone of resistance where the price would be very exhausted, and it here would be an ideal, you know, place. From here to here, there's like 250 points up there. The price would be very exhausted, and it would be an ideal place to go short, but that didn't happen. So what did happen is that this was the opportunities to go long, and then as I said many times, the first test of the zone carries the great possibilities of success. So this is the first test of this broken resistance, and now act as support. And later, when price came to this 500 level again, there was, and I have shown that on Twitter, there was here this small balance. Let us see that clearly. This was a small balance, very close, as you can see, very close to the top of the zone, and then they start to hug this level and then break. So when you see this and this hugging of the level, you could go short here in anticipation of the breakdown. And this is a harder trade than this, because this was a strong move. It was a move that you could expect after 4 days of testing. And after that, we got only, you know, chop and chop and chop. Tomorrow is NFP announcement. Tonight we have the American market, Apple reporting in the after hours, and this report can be a market mover. So Apple is a market mover tonight, and tomorrow NFP announcement. Let's go briefly to the higher time frames. This is still an idea for the hidden bear divergence on the 4-hour chart, and for the end I will just want to emphasize once again, single candle look doesn't mean much, even on a daily chart. Pricing is an advertising mechanism. If you were just to see this one particular candle when they attacked the resistance for the first time, look how big this price rejection is. But there were no continuation to the downside, and after that we got like 3 more candles to the upside. So tomorrow you will get an updated chart with zones, and for today I wish you good trading and a good night.